I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential.
I'll tell you one person. I haven't talked to him much since. Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. And the reason he pissed me off was because he hit me. He's like, yo, it's been hard for a lot of us to talk about you these last few days. It's been hard for me to watch, but I'm watching it because I want to see everything that everybody has to say. But the thing that pissed me off is...
It's a week later, and I'm not going to talk about this anymore. But let me say this to y'all. It's a week later. I'm not backing up from a word I said. I was right. I was doing my job. And in the process of doing my job, I wasn't doing my job when I didn't talk about him.
What if I told you the loudest voice in sports just got checked by LeBron James's ride or die, Dwyane Wade himself? Oh yeah, Stephen A. Smith thought he could stir the pot, but the pot fought back. And now, the beef is sizzling. Fire. From courtside confrontations to viral clapbacks, this isn't just about basketball anymore, it's personal. Let's break it all down. Stephen A. came in hot, criticizing Bronny James like he was any other player, except Bronny isn't just any player. He's LeBron's son, and guess who didn't like that? King James himself. LeBron, usually calm, composed, untouchable, snapped. He rolled up on Stephen A. mid-game, in front of cameras. No script. No PR, just vibes and fury. Stephen didn't hold back either, called LeBron's move weak.
I didn't think that Pat McAfee disrespected me or did me wrong in any way. He did his job and I got no problems with it. My issue is with LeBron James. And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again.
But that's when Dwyane Wade entered the chat like a big brother stepping in at recess. Wade hopped on Carmelo Anthony's show and aired it out. He said he personally texted Stephen A. after the incident. And his message? If I were a father, I'd have walked up on you too. Wade stood on business. Not just because of his bond with Bron, but because, let's be honest, some lines you just don't cross. He reminded Stephen, LeBron doesn't confront anybody. So the fact that he did, that's not weakness, that's respect.
I have a personal relationship with Stephen A. Obviously, our relationship with Bron and my relationship with Bron is documented.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I have a relationship with Stephen A. as well. And so we talk. You know what I mean? I'm not talking out of school. Me and him text back and forth about the situation.
And guess what Dwyane told?
I told him, as a father, I'm walking up on you.
Right.
I get it. Because I'm like that too. Like I'm at you.
Of course.
But also, you know what I told him, I said, and I think we've never seen LeBron do that. Like we've never seen, like LeBron don't even go back at players that foul him too hard on the court. We've never seen him be, like he's always been just even keel and level headed in every aspect. And sometimes you want him to jump. Sometimes you want him to go and he won't.
You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Ha, not when Stephen A. smells ratings. He went off on his show again, said he was just doing his job. That criticizing Bronny wasn't personal, but here's the twist. Stephen agreed with Wade. He called him my dog and admitted their friendship's real. Still, Stephen's not backing down. He said it wasn't an attack, it was commentary. And if LeBron didn't like it, too bad.
I would never call out somebody as a father for stuff that's going on in the privacy of your life in your home. But I covered the NBA. And what I was talking about when it came to fatherhood was what we were seeing on an NBA basketball court. That's my job. That's my job.
Just when the dust finally seemed ready to settle, LeBron James, the king himself, broke his silence. And y'all, he did not hold back. He pulled up to the Pat McAfee Show like a man on a mission, calm on the outside, but you could feel the heat simmering under that grin. LeBron wasn't petty, he was surgical. He started light, cracking jokes, keeping it cool.
He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
This imagery was so specific and so funny that it immediately became a meme.
But when the name Stephen A. Smith came up, oh, the gloves came off. I wasn't even gonna address it, Bron said, as he proceeded to absolutely address it. Let's be real, he was waiting for this moment, and he served it cold, like a pint of Häagen-Dazs. In fact, LeBron painted a whole picture of what he thought Stephen A. was doing at home. He's probably sitting there in his tighty whities on the couch, grinning like a kid, eating ice cream straight from the tub, just loving the fact that I'm even talking about him right now. Tell me you didn't just picture it. Stephen, a Smith in underwear with a spoon, just cheesing. But then LeBron flipped the tone and things got serious. He made it crystal clear. This whole confrontation wasn't about basketball. It was about family. I'll never stop people from critiquing the game, LeBron said. That's your job. Critique my shot, my defense, my decisions on the court. But when it gets personal, when you bring my son into it, then it becomes my job to defend my household.
This wasn't just any interview. This was LeBron taking his response directly to one of ESPN's own platforms.
On a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah.
He completely missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game.
Boom. And right there, he dropped the mic on Fatherhood versus Media. LeBron called out Stephen A. for missing the point completely. You're out here spinning this into a media circus, he said. But I wasn't trying to go viral. I was protecting my kid.
But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell.
And to top it off, LeBron predicted the next move in real time. He said, I know Steven's gonna drop another video. He's probably thrilled I'm even saying his name. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear like it's Christmas morning. And honestly, he's not wrong. LeBron knew this was fuel for Steven's fire, but he didn't care. He said what needed to be said, not as an NBA superstar, but as a dad who had enough. This moment wasn't about scoring points, it was about drawing a line. One side says it's all part of the job, the other says, not when it comes to my kid. So where do you stand? Just when you thought the drama had peaked. Enter Draymond Green, NBA's resident truth teller and podcast warrior. Now, Draymond didn't just tiptoe into the situation, he bulldozed in, mic in hand, message locked and loaded, and he had one thing to say to Stephen A. Watch your words. See, when Stephen called LeBron's courtside confrontation weak, that didn't sit right with Draymond, not as a hooper, and definitely not as a man. He broke it down raw. Calling another man weak, that's not basketball. That's fighting words where I'm from. In neighborhoods like the ones they grew up in, you say something like that, and you're gonna feel it, physically, because weak isn't just trash talk, it's disrespect. And that's exactly what LeBron was reacting to. Draymond didn't just defend LeBron, he checked Stephen's whole approach. You're on national TV criticizing a black father. Not for his coaching, not for his son's stats, but for simply being present. Let that sink in. You're condemning a man for being a visible, vocal, and supportive father in a league that's always begging players to be more than athletes. Draymond basically said, you can't tell men to show up, then slap them down when they do.
I'll tell you one person. I haven't talked to him much since. Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. And the reason he pissed me off was because he hit me and he's like, yo, it's been hard for a lot of us to talk about you these last few days. It's been hard for me to watch, but I'm watching it because I want to see everything that everybody has to say. But the thing that pissed me off is you tell me it's been hard for y'all to talk about me, but have not one time, Stephen A., anytime I meet someone and they say something about you, it's never like, yo, I like him. Like, the guy is actually a cool dude. Like, I know, like, you could take what you want from the TV screen, but I actually know the guy. He's a cool dude and a real dude. And then you get the opportunity to talk about me. And listen, I know you got a job to do. I know you got to do your thing and say what you got to say. But at not one point did you say, well, y'all are saying this person is up and this person need help.
And he wasn't the only one chiming in. Candace Owens, ever the contrarian, jumped in with her take too. She said LeBron can't have it both ways. If Bronny's playing in the big leagues, he better be ready for big league criticism. In her eyes, public court equals public scrutiny. Simple as that.
If you are trying to make the argument, LeBron, that your son is ready to play in the big leagues, then he has to be ready to deal with the criticism, okay? That's just how this works.
But then Ryan Clark, Super Bowl champ, and one of the realest voices in sports, stepped in with balance. I'm not LeBron, he said, but I am a father, and I'm willing to die for mine. That hit different. Ryan acknowledged the elephant in the room. Yes, Bronny will face criticism. Yes, he's making bank and living the dream. But still, LeBron has the right to protect his son, not just as an athlete, but as a father first. He even pointed out how Bronny, as the 55th pick, gets more heat than players drafted in the top 10. And why? Because of the name stitched on the back of his jersey. Yet that same name also brings opportunities, endorsements, and legacy. And through it all, Bronny's just out here hooping, while grown adults debate his existence on national television. So while Stephen A. keeps defending his right to critique, he's now got all-stars, Super Bowl champions, and millions of fans reminding him, being a father isn't weak, it's power. And right in the middle of all this noise, all the back and forth, the interviews, the Twitter fingers, Bronny James did what very few could. He kept his head down. No tweets, no interviews, no passive-aggressive IG stories, just silence and work. Now imagine this, you're 19, your name is James, and every move you make is being dissected in real time. You're not just playing ball, you're playing in your father's shadow, and the critics, they're louder than ever. People calling you overhyped, saying you only made it because of your dad, that you're just a marketing experiment in sneakers. But Bronny didn't flinch. Instead, when the Lakers went up against the Bucks, without LeBron, without Rui, without Austin Reeves, and without Luka, Bronny stepped up, dropped 17 points, career high. In 30 minutes off the bench, he played with poise, confidence, and control. None of that rookie jitter energy we saw earlier in the season. This wasn't just a good game, this was a statement. I'm here, I belong. Even Stephen A., Mr. Loud Mike himself, had to give it up. Said Bronny looked elevated, composed, legit. And here's the real kicker. Bronny didn't let the circus distract him. His game did the talking. No theatrics, no retweets, just buckets. And let's be honest, that 17-point performance, it wasn't just for the Lakers. It was for his dad, for his name, and for every young player out there who's been told, you don't deserve this. Bronny didn't just answer critics, he shut them down with a smooth jumper and a quiet flex. Stevens made it clear, he's not apologizing. He says he's right and he's gonna keep talking. Wade? He's playing peacemaker and protector.
It's a week later, and I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. But let me say this to y'all. It's a week later. I'm not backing up from a word I said. I was right. I was doing my job. And in the process of doing my job, I wasn't doing my job when I didn't talk about him.
LeBron, he's tired of the noise but still standing on his truth. And Bronny, he's letting his game do the talking. So what do you think? Did Steven cross a line, or was Bron overreacting? Let us know in the comments, because this convo is far from over. If you made it this far, you're clearly invested. So go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next twist in this saga. Because when sports meets drama, you know we've got the receipts. Catch you in the next one.